All right, Shalom. Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. It's all praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. Ba'ashem meaning in the name, Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the hopeful leg preachers there. Brother Tyler Zabah, the Great Millstone, Arizona. Well, with another video to edify. And I wanted to go in, right, in World War III, because that's what we're coming to. You see the conflict over there in the land of Israel, the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. These things are prophesied in the scriptures to happen. Whether or not people want to believe it or not, the scriptures tell you 2 woes is past and a third woe coming quickly. You can go to that word woe, it means destruction. So there's 2 world wars that already happened, and there's going to be a 3rd world war that's about to happen right now in your lifetime. There's no more putting it off. People don't even understand the significance, right? The all-out significance of the fact that Hamas is getting into in Palestine, and Palestine is getting into this all-out conflict. People don't even understand the significance of that, right? You got the dragons of Arabia. Let me get this. Hey, Shalom, bro. You got the dragons of Arabia. I'm gonna grab it real quick. Second Ezra 15 and 28. Behold, in horrible vision, the appearance thereof from the east, right? When people sit here and see all the war popping off, you understand that, oh man, this people looking at this stuff, man, they're using phosphorus bombs, things that are supposed to be illegal, right? They made these rules say, oh, nah, nobody can use these phosphorus munitions, these phosphorus bombs. Why? Because they're incendiary, right? As soon as they start burning, there's damn near no fucking way to put them out. All right, so those people in the street, they get even a little bit on them, man. They turn into fucking Roman candles. Oh, that's nice. They turn into damn Roman candles, right? And that's where we're at now, where the Lord is starting to sit here and rise these nations up for war, right? So 2 Ezra 15 and 29, it says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. And that's what they're seeing. You got all these Arab nations that are sitting there telling them, hey, all the Arab nations, all the Palestinians need to come together. Well, that's the nations of the dragons of Arabia coming together, man, and it spells war. You're talking about, you got an Edomite nation like the land of Israel in the midst of all the fucking Palestinians, Arabs, right? And they're bombing them to shit. They're bombing them to shit, man. And it's not like here with you Edomites and how y'all associate yourselves with one another, man. Their association is by their gods. And now they're seeing people that worship their same gods get blown to fucking smithereens, and they're looking at kids fucking burnt to crisp that look just like their children. They're about to get riled the fuck up. This is prophecy, man. It says, also the Carmanians going into the Persians, and now they're stepping in. Iran sitting there saying they're damn near ready to back Hamas, right? That's scriptural. It says, also the Carmanians going into Iran, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrian. Right? This is what's getting cooked up. So things are moving towards prophecies coming out. Things are moving towards war coming, man. You know what? I didn't delete this. Let me do this real quick. Here we go. Shalom. We back. Right? So they're starting to move towards war coming in. World War III is here. They already sat there and said they got a draft. And women are no longer exempt from the draft. Right? So it's going to get hot and heavy out here, man. You're not going to be able to put it off. Evil day is here. You're not going to sit here and say, not in your lifetime, because it's about to be in your lifetime. Right? This is Revelation 11. Right? And this is the time we're in. We're in the time of Revelation. We're in the time of the book of Revelation. Revelation 11 and 14. It says the second woe is past, right? Going into the Second World War, right? Whether or not you believe it or not, the scriptures talk about everything that's happening in the world, right? The second woe is past, and behold, the third world coming quickly. The third world war comes very fast, man. It's gonna take you people by surprise, right? But for men that have been looking for these things, that have been going into the scriptures, staying locked in with the Spirit, right? We understand that the Lord said these things are gonna come, so it's not taking brothers by surprise, right? The scriptures tell you you are not of them that sleep, nor them that are of the night, but of the day, right? And what can you do? You can see things in the day, and the nighttime comes, you can't see shit, right? We're in a time now where we're seeing World War III getting cooked up. And for everybody else that bullshitted and acted like it was all sweet and games, well, the time of playing is over. The scriptures tell you, prepare to meet thy maker. This is Zephaniah, or Zechariah. Yeah, Zephaniah 1. Zephaniah 1 and 14, it says, the great day of Yahweh is near. It is near, right? And hasten greatly, even the voice of the day of Yahweh. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Right? The great day of the Lord is near. Right? The time where you're going to live out the punishments that the Lord wrote. Because for a long time, people had a chance. Remember, the scriptures tell you, it said, why should you be stricken anymore if you will revolt more and more? Niggas have had an opportunity. The word has been preached. People have been given the warning of what's right, what's wrong, how to operate. But what? They chose death rather than life. They chose the death style of America and how America preaches how you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to conduct yourself, what's acceptable. Well, the scriptures tell us that we're supposed to be in a manner to prove that which is good and acceptable and pleasing to the Heavenly Father. And how do we get that way of life? How do we come to that way of being? And through reading the scriptures, right? They tell you here a man could be a woman and a woman could be a man. Well, in the scriptures, it says something otherwise. But now we're in a time where World War III is getting cooked up, and this is about to be a reality. A draft is coming. A draft. It says Zephaniah 1 and 14, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasten greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. And the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. That doesn't sound fun. Right? The day of the Lord isn't going to be this whole, hey, everybody come together, you're going to get a hug in heaven. Now, the day of the Lord comes with wrath, desolation, destruction, upheaval, distress, because the king of all existence is stepping off his throne. In the old world, if a king came to you, right, you were on your P's and Q's because you didn't know how to act. You didn't know what he was going to come to do, man. Well, we're telling you what the Lord's coming to do. If you didn't take the warning serious, right, this could very well be a lot. And the people out there that's going into the military and shit like that, hey, it might be time to rethink your fucking choice, because you go over that way, you're going to stay over that way. And I'm not talking about you're going to be living over there. I'm talking about you're going to die there. Right? The scriptures talk about how men's flesh is going to be as dung on the face of the earth. That's a lot of death. There should be blood up to the horse's bridle. That's an analogy for a lot of fucking death. Right? It says, a day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And America's a huge fenced city. What did they fence it about with? What? with oceans. Right? America is a fenced city, man. Hey, people really believe that America is just this guarded nation, nothing ever is going to happen here. Well, the Lord is going to pop the cherry of America. Right? The scriptures tell you she shall no more be called tender and delicate. America is going to be invaded by foreign troops. It's going to be bombed to smithereens by missiles. Right? And it's all according to the will of the Lord. Because what did the scripture say in Amos? Go back to that Zephaniah after this. Amos chapter 9. In verse 8, it says, behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Lord. Right? So the Lord said what? His eyes are upon the sinful kingdom. America is an extremely sinful place. Right? Just the whole alphabet community lifestyle that's promoted here is enough for the Lord to destroy it. Because what? Sodom and Gomorrah went in the same fashion. Right? So the war that's brewing up is what? To correct this shit. To put life back in balance. Remember, the scriptures tell you, surely you're turning of things upside down. Upside down. This is Isaiah 29 and 15. Woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, who knoweth us? And this is how Esau operates, and he taught the people to operate the same fucking way. Right? Esau operates like, okay, all the, right? Because everything that has choppers, man, they don't even need to be that loud. Close the fucking carburetor up when you're at lower elevations, it won't be that loud. These people, we're below sea level. These people are stupid as fuck. But Esau operates in a fashion like, oh, what the people don't know, they ain't happy. Well, the Lord sees everything that happens. Remember, the scriptures tell you the eyes of the Lord are in there, every place, beholding the good and evil. So while these devils told 1 million people in the land of Palestine, right, or in the Gaza Strip, where they told 1 million people to fucking evacuate, what did the so-called white man do at the same time? The ones that call themselves Jewish, what did they do at the same time the Palestinians were evacuating on their orders? They started bombing the shit out of them in the evacuation convoys. That's wicked as shit. The Lord sees that. The Lord sees that. You're not gonna fucking hide the fact that you sat here and told a bunch of people, 1 million people to evacuate, and you start bombing them, and like the Lord's not gonna have a repercussion for that. Right? The Lord said what? The land cannot be cleansed but by the blood of him that shed blood therein. Right? So they killed a bunch of people that didn't do shit to them. Right? But when the retribution of the Lord comes, they're going to sit here and be crying. All right? This is prophesied that something's going to happen. And we're going into it. World War III is written of in the Bible. Right? And it's not spoken of in this plain, simple way because the Lord didn't want everybody to get it. But the Lord sent men in these last days and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. The Lord set up men in the last days to give the understanding of what the words of the scriptures were talking about. All right, so back then they described, when they saw things, right, because the prophets of old, the Lord showed them visions of the future. When they saw things that looked like missiles, they called them flying swords, right? They call them glittering spears, but in the times now, we know that these are missiles. That's some suspect ass shit, man. These are missiles, man. So now we're in a time now where you're seeing the fulfillment of all these things coming to pass, man. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the darkness, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Right? The confusion of the genders. Man, fucking cigarettes. The confusion of the genders, the division of the man and woman, the dividing of the housing structure, right? The way money is made, It makes no sense that it makes no sense that somebody who breaks their back in a fucking field or in the kitchen is living a harder life than somebody that just turns on a fucking camera and posting some shit on YouTube. It's madness. Niggas that play pranks all day are living better lives than people that bust their asses. That's madness. Right? But hey, the Lord says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say to him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say unto him that framed it, he had no understanding? Right? The Lord's going to sit here and break this shit that's here. The entire way of life. America's in a whole going to be broken down. All these buildings, the Lord said, though he built, this is this is Malachi 1:4. It says, whereas Edom saith, and who is Edom? It's a nation of the so-called white men, the Edomites, the lineage of Esau. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. The Lord said, all this shit was built up, right? You see all these skyscrapers, all the infrastructure here, right? The piping networks, right? You got gas pipelines all through America. You got your subway systems, all these big ass neighborhoods. Though he build, I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord had indignation. Right? You go into that word indignation, it means righteous anger. There's a people on the earth today, right, that all come from the same family, the same lineage, where the Lord said he has a righteous anger against them forever. And that's the so-called Edomite. That's the so-called white men who are the Edomites, right? And not everybody that looks white is going to be an Edomite, because this is all according to the Father. It's not according to look, right? But just as there's a look to every people on the earth en masse, right? There's going to be a people that have a visage for you to look on to know, oh, maybe you need to take some scrutiny towards them. Because where in the hell did any white person ever go that he didn't fucking rape, rob, and pillage and kill everybody that was there? Right? His entire history is filled with shame. Right? You go into how he went into Vietnam and used that Agent Orange shit in Vietnam. They knew exactly the effects of Agent Orange. You got kids being born with their fucking mouths open and sideways and shit. That's wicked as hell. And the Lord's going to bring out a judgment for those type of works. It says, woe unto him that destroyed the earth, meaning destruction to that devil. All right, so going back into the Zephaniah. Zephaniah 1:14, it says, the day of the Lord is near, it is near and hasteth greatly. The day of the Lord is hastening, meaning it's going to speed up, right? Every day you go to sleep, you're going to wake up to some new evil progressing in earth.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
That's right. That's right. It's good that the Lord's going to destroy America, right? It says, the day of the Lord is near, it is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, and the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. It says that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet of alarm against the fenced cities and against high towers. Right? It says, and I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as the dust, and their flesh as the dung. Like you go to the beach, you get all that dust in your boot, you take your shoe off and you shake it out. Well, the Lord said what? Men's blood is going to be poured out as the dust of the earth. right? That's a semblance of great death coming, right? Neither shall their silver nor their gold be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath, right? All the riches, all these rich people that think that they got this bunker, all these amenities, they got somewhere to hide in the mountains. That shit's not gonna save you, right? Your silver and gold, being able to pay somebody off to go here, do this, do that, get some protection, that shit ain't gonna save you. If you're not actually in the covering of the Lord, you're fucked. It says, neither their silver nor gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So the Lord has a judgment to make a speedy riddance. Remember, the scriptures tell you for 1 hour is that great city Babylon destroyed, right? That's that speedy riddance. The Lord had 1 hour. It's only going to take the Lord 1 hour, right, to control the minds of these nations, to shoot their nuclear missiles, right, and waste this fucking place. Because everybody has something against America. Every one of these nations have something against America, right? Every one of them. Remember, the scriptures tell you that all you that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, right? That bow and that arrow that it's talking about, the bow is talking about those nuclear silos, those launch pads, right? You just had a recent video come out where Russia has their missiles docked in launchers, nuclear missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, hypersonic ballistic missiles, right? Docked in launchers, ready to go, ready to shoot. So this is what the Lord has prepared. Get some water real quick, man. So, let's go back into it, man. This is Malachi 4. Malachi 4:1, it says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. Right? And you have to put this in old world terms. Right? The Bible is actually an Eastern book. You can't think about it in a Western mindset. So, and it said, behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. The ovens that were traditional around that time were what? Those tandoori ovens. They're basically turbo ovens, right? And they get hella hot, man. Damn near to the point where you can sit here and melt gold in them. Right? It's not like your oven at home where it only gets up to 500 degrees. No, the day of the Lord is going to burn excessively hot. Remember, the scriptures tell you the Lord is a consuming fire. It says, behold, the day of the Lord behold, the day that cometh shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. To be stubble in the time where a great fire is going to be coming, that means you're about to get kindled up. It's going to be quick fire, boom, strictly combusted. That's it. There's no deliverance from that unless you are with the Lord. It says, shall be stubble, and the day cometh that shall burn them up, said Yahweh of hosts, and it shall leave them neither root nor branch, but unto you that fear the name that fear the name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. He shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Right? That's the duality. There's going to be there's going to be people that are destined to get destroyed, and there's going to be a people that are going to get delivered. And the people that are going to get delivered is Israel. Nobody else. You're not going to sit here and just somehow just escape this judgment. The Lord said it is a marvel if there be one wicked that go unpunished. Esau ain't going to go unpunished. The so-called white man, for all his deeds in the earth, all the wickedness that he's done over all his generations, because them slave owners in the time of slavery in America, a lot of them died in their beds peacefully, right? Jeffrey Epstein didn't pay for his crimes, right? A lot of these celebrities don't even pay for their crimes. You just had that bitch from that old TV show Smallville. that got caught up on pedal charges just get out scot-free, where all those souls were trafficked because of her. Well, the scriptures tell you, if a man stealeth a man and he be found in his hand, right, he should be put to death. But she's out free now, complaining about how she can't find work. So you know what work she's about to get back into. It says, go to my next one, man. This is Zechariah 14. Zechariah 14 and 12. It says, Zechariah 14 and 12, it says, and this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. And when it's talking about Jerusalem, it's not talking about the land, it's talking about the people. Right? It says, this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. And what can do that? What can make your flesh consume away while you stand upon your feet? Right? And their eyes shall consume away in their holes. What can make your eyes dissolved in your holes? What intense heat can bring a judgment like that? It says, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth, and it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from Yahweh shall be upon them. And they shall lay hold everyone on the hand of his neighbor, and on the hand shall rise up against, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. Right? So the Lord said, what? A day's going to come that's going to burn as an oven. Right? And a judgment's going to be here that's going to what? Make people's flesh consume away while they stand upon their feet. The thing that can make it an intense heat like that is thermonuclear fire. Right? Because in the New Testament, in the book of Peter, it tells you what? That all the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The human body is made of elements. So the Lord is bringing a judgment to make sure people melt away. Remember that, the first people that's gonna get that judgment, right, is you tribes, man, the wicked of our tribes, the 2/3, the 2 parts that therein that should be cut off and die. You're gonna have a part in that fire, because the Lord's got to get rid of you to make sure what his remaining elect, the remnant, shine forth, man, and are fit for that blessing. But that judgment is coming, man. That judgment is coming. The day of the burn, the day of that burn, man, the day of that fiery oven is being prepared. Because World War III is here, man. And then people watch the news and they'll see all this stuff going on with Hamas and Israel, and they don't even understand it. It's crazy. You're talking about an entire Arab nation. All these Arab nations are ready to come together. That spells war, right? But people walk around and they think it's going to be all fine and dandy, that America's got this great army, that they're going to be able to survive all this shit. Nah, man. Nah. You're going to go through it. Right? This is Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54 and 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. So the Lord is able to make souls that sit here and have the intelligence and the intellect to sit here and come up with sciences, right, and procedures to split the atom. So these scientists, the smith that blows the coals in the fire, right, are these modern day scientists. The Lord created them to make these weapons, to prepare an armory for his work, right? It says, behold, I've created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. So the Lord created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. When you go into the old world smiths were used to what? Make weapons, make armor. So the Lord put it on these scientists to come up with the nuclear missiles. That movie Oppenheimer, splitting the atom. Behold, I become the destroyer of the worlds. Nah, the Lord made him the destroyer of worlds. The Lord put it in his spirit. Hey, this is how you do it. Break it apart just like this, right? Bring it up to this temperature. Those atoms are going to split. Now this secondary explosion is going to make sure the spread goes and the combustion continues. Right? The Lord created these men to make these weapons, whether or not people want to believe it. So this is a judgment that the Lord is down with. Because too many people have done wickedness. So now what? The thing that needs to happen to equalize this shit is a great destruction. Right? It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth the instrument for his work. I have created the waster to destroy. That's the Lord saying that. So the Lord created a waster to destroy, and a smith that made a missile or a weapon for him to sit here and put people to death with. That's the Lord. Right? So when you go to Jeremiah 50, that's a good follow-up scripture. Jeremiah 50 and 23, it says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? And who's the hammer of the whole earth today? America. They're the ones that have the power to go into any nation and just straight up decimate them. Beat the shit out of everybody. I mean, look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing to some Palestinians. You're right on the news, showing them using banned and illegal equipment, right? Like them phosphorus bombs. Showing them using siege warfare, cutting off water and food from the Palestinians, right? And showing them sitting there forcibly kicking these niggas out in mass out of their lands, which is another breaking of their laws. Right? So it says again, how is the hammer of the earth broken asunder? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Right? And when you go into the word Babylon, it means Babal, right? In the Hebrew, which means confusion. And America is a land of straight up fucking confusion. Right? It says, and this place is going to be broken asunder, right? It's going to become a desolation. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken. O Babylon, thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. And this is why the Lord is bringing this judgment against this place. Because this devil is striven against the Lord. Look at everything you set up is in straight opposition what the Lord said was acceptable, what the Lord said was okay. Right? It says, verse 25, it says, Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. So the Lord has the ability to make men to make weapons. He did it in the old world, he's doing it now. So all these militaries and all this new military equipment, these hypersonic missiles, the Lord put his signature on that. Right? The Lord gave the work order out. Said, go make that. Because who needs 200,000 nuclear missiles? Nobody, but the Lord created them for his day of judgment. Because the Lord has a judgment against what? Wickedness. And who's perpetuating the wickedness in the world? America. It says, verse 25, it says, Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation for his work. For this is the work of the Lord of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. All right, so the Lord said he opened his armory to bring forth the weapons of his indignation, the weapons of his righteous anger, right? For his work in the land of the Chaldeans. When you go into the Chaldeans, they were the chief sorcerers in the land of Babylon, and all witchcraft comes out of America, man. All types of witchcraft comes out of here. This is why when you go into the monuments and everything that's held here, why do you have an Albert Pike statue in America? Because he's a chief sorcerer, and they worship the sorcerers, right? Come against her from the uttermost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. And that's what's going to happen. The Lord is literally going to use the besom of destruction, that destroying wind spoken of. Right? Let's get that, man, actually. Jeremiah 51, right? Jeremiah 51:1, it says, thus said the Lord, behold, I will rise up against Babylon, against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind. Right? That destroying wind is that beast of the destruction, man. That wall of fire. That great tempest, right? The Lord prepared these weapons to sit here and just fully lay the land flat, lay the land desolate. And it's a righteous judgment, man, because when you look at how shit is, man, this is how life is supposed to be, right? You got men. I saw a video, and I know brothers have probably seen that little weird motherfucker. They call him Baby Alien. This nigga's able to get all these fucking bitches, but a young 18-year-old dude, 17-year-old, 18-year-old dude made a video. He was like, yeah, I'm tight. How the fuck is this motherfucker able to get bad Latina bitches and look like he does? But it's Jake that's in his strength, has his wits about him, doesn't look fucking decrepit, and he can't get none. Hey, that's this all-out evil happening here, man. It makes no sense how the divorce rates are so fucking high, right? How kids are out of fucking order.
It's language for a religious guy.
Hey, Paul said though he be rude in speech, but not according to language, right? Not according to knowledge, right? But your little weak ass say that shit and run away, right? Esau, man. It's right because he white. That's what they say. It's right because he white. But it says, thus say Yahweh, behold, I will rise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And I will send unto Babylon fanners, right? And niggas like that, scoffing niggas, is the reason why the Lord's going to destroy this place. Right? You hang up on a language, why don't you get hung up on the destruction that America's about to fucking see? The Lord's going to put to silence all the bullshitters, man. And all the thing that's going to be here is the judgment of the Lord. Scripture's telling you, and only judgment shall remain. It says, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. But language is the issue, right? Rough language, rough speak. You Edomites, man, the way you fucking made society and life, y'all are fucked. For you to sit here and listen to an Edomite like to a so-called white man, like he's the fucking voice of morality and etiquette, when this devil has gone through every nation just killing and robbing and pillaging everybody, it's fucking insult, bro. But that's why the Lord's bringing his judgment, man, because he's going to rectify all this shit. It says, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about, and against him that bendeth the bow, let the archer bend. Let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth up himself in his brigandine. A brigandine is his military prowess. America lifts himself up in their military prowess. They say, what, America has the greatest army they'll never lose? Well, every kingdom in the world has had their time to rise, and now America's coming to its time to fall. Every kingdom, the Roman Empire was supposed to be the greatest empire that was, and look how they fall. And America's falling in the same suit. They're getting ready for their time to fall. Right? A draft is going to be implemented. Major death is going to be on the face of earth. Right? All type of civil unrest is about to be here because that's written in the scriptures. If it happened in other kingdoms, it's going to happen here. The scriptures tell you in the book of Ecclesiastes, that which was is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. For there is no new thing under heaven. Right? So if there were times in other kingdoms where what? Civil unrest popped off, war popped off, invasions popped off. Well, America's no fucking exception. It's going to have its time to go down too. And we're coming to it. It's going to multiply. The evils are going to fucking multiply. Right? The fear in people's hearts is going to grow. When you got your daughters getting drafted and you crying and they trying to fucking lead a country and they get locked up for trying to be deserters, imagine the shit that's going to happen to them in prisons, man, to those so-called deserters. Right? It says, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. Right? People are going to die in the street too, man. It's going to be war on every side. It's going to be one evil after another evil after another evil. You're not going to be able to escape this. The scriptures talk about perilous times shall come. Right? To be in peril is one trouble to another. It's no reprieve. It's no rest. All right? This is back in Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 50 and 29, it says, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, against it round about. Let none of her thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she had done, do unto her, right? And in the book of Revelation, it says, do unto her double, right? America is going to get a double destruction. A double destruction. So much so that this place is never going to be built again. Never, ever, ever, ever going to be built again. Right? You just had the eclipse go across America, and there was a screenshot I took. Let me see if I can get it on the camera. Where they took a picture from one of them space stations to show what it looked like in the atmosphere looking down at Earth when that eclipse happened. And America was blacked out. And that's what's going to happen. The Lord is going to black out America. Let me see if I get it on the screen. Right? America was blacked out. And that's what the Lord is about to do to this place. The Lord is about to black America out. All right? It says, do unto her, for she had been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. America and the people in it are extremely proud against the Lord. Therefore shall her young men fall in the street, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, said the Lord. So those niggas going over there in war, the people over there signing up in the military, right, you're going to have your day of judgment. You're going to be right there in the destruction. Getting burnt to hell up. Right? It says, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, say Yahweh, power of hosts, for thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. So the Lord is against America, right? The Lord is against some so-called Israelis. The Lord is against some so-called Palestinians, right? The Lord is against the Iranians, the Russians, the Turkish, right? Those British, right? Those people in the United Kingdom. The Lord is against all of them. And the Lord is only for his people. So if you're not of his people, right, and the elect of his people, you fucked. It's just true. You're through. Just look at the way people operate. Would you look at the way people operate here and be like, oh yeah, that's a righteous soul? No, you winning. Because nobody promotes righteousness here. And if somebody comes up and promotes righteousness, what do? They cancel them. That's what cancel culture is used for, is to cancel the righteous. Because the message is going out. The right way to be is going out. But a lot of people don't take heed to it. It says verse 32, it says, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall rise him up. And I will kindle fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. You see? The most proud is going to fall, and the Lord is going to kindle fire in his city. That's going into the lesson. Those thermonuclear missiles, man. The Lord created those. The Lord created the men that created them. The Lord has complete and utter power over thought, intellect, design, creation. So when these things were made, it was by the Lord's will. And it's by the Lord's will they're going to be used as well. Let me keep going. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and I'll start at 19. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. His severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. It says, then shall the right aiming thunderbolts, right, going into those missiles, Then shall the right aim and thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds as from a well-drawn bow. Right? Meaning what? Those missiles are going to be shot from their silos, from their launching pads, wherever. Right? From spacecraft, from submarines. As of a well-drawn bow, they shall fly to the mark, and hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out as a stone bow. Right? When you go back into a stone bow, man, when that motherfucker wound it up and it flung, man, it did a little whistle. And when it hit, man, it was just a huge thud. Right? Where the scriptures tell you the earth is going to reel to and fro at the judgment of the Lord, man. Right? When all those missiles start hitting, man, the earth is just going to, places are going to shift. The waves of the seas are going to be kicked up. It says, in hailstones full of wrath, shall be cast out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the floods shall cruelly drown them. Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, right? It says strong, destroying wind. It says, and like a storm, blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. Right? Because all the wickedness that's here is going to overthrow the thrones of the mighty, man. The powers that be, man, they push forth all this wickedness. Buildings built over what the Lord said, man. There's no need for 20 levels just to stack people on each other, basically shitting on top of each other. Right? A man is supposed to have a fucking a sense of solitude, a way to be able to sit here and raise his family by his own and come together when he's ready. But here, everybody gets to hear all your drama in the next room over, next apartment over, right? Next house over. Getting involved in your shit. Right? But the Lord is going to sit here and put out a judgment against a place that set up that type of lifestyle. Right? And that's against Esau's rulership. This is Revelation 18. So Revelation 18 and 21. I'll start at 20. It says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High had avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, right, and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence, shall that great city Babylon be thrown down. It shall be found no more at all. So with violence is America going to go down. America is Babylon. So thus with violence is America going to go down. That's in the Holy Bible, right? This ain't no damn Quran, man, that I'm reading out of, man. This is the Bible of the Lord, right? The holy book. The Bible that Yahweh Shai is talking about, that so-called, said you people so-called yourself having the name of the Lord and calling him Jesus. This is that Bible that I'm reading out of, right? This is 2 Ezra 16. Second Ezra 16 and 10, it says, I got to start up. I'll start at 3. It says, a sword is sent upon you, and who shall turn it back? Right? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you. And what is he that may drive them away? Nobody, because the Lord wrote these things in the plan. The Lord said, the thing that I purpose, the thing that I say I propose, it shall come to pass. Right? Whatever the Lord said was going to happen, well, we're in a time now where those things are going to happen. It says, may any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble, when it have begun to burn? Nobody's going to sit here and make fire stop as soon as it starts burning up the kindling. You can't. As soon as it starts going, look at how they try to put out wildfires in Arizona and California. They can't. People die trying to. Right? It says, may one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Yahweh sendeth the plagues. And who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth of his wrath, from his wrath. And who is he that may quench it? See, this is the fire of the Lord's wrath. This is Isaiah 66 and 15. Right? The Lord is going to judge this place by fire of his jealousy, man. He's going to plead with everybody by the fire of his jealousy, by the fire of his wrath. It says, he shall cast out lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Yahweh shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? You're talking about power on power. The Lord is straight power. The Lord is straight fire. It says he's a consuming fire, man. The Lord is literally just all power. Any power that's here that you think is great, the Lord created that. So when you create something, man, you have the power, even more power over it. It says, the earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof, the sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also. Behold the Lord, and behold the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Right? So this is allegorical speak when you go into the scripture. So does an arrow go to the end of the earth, or did the Lord make somebody make a weapon that's able to go from one continent to another? Right? The Lord made a weapon that's able to go from one continent to another. Right? And then he gave men to split the atom. I told them, hey, throw that in there too. And he combined those together, and now you have intercontinental, hypersonic, thermonuclear missiles, man. Right? And all these nations want them. And all these nations have been making them. Russia has a lot of them. America has a lot of them. And they're going to go right, left. And America's going to be destroyed at the end of the day. Because the wickedness that is promoted. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the end of the world. It says, behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again, till they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundations of the earth, man. That's in the New Testament too. That's you get it, man. Fervent. So 2 Peter 3:10 says but the day of the Lord will come as a thief. Right? If a thief comes, do you think he's coming and letting you know? No, it's just going to come on you all of a sudden. It says, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And the earth also and the works therein shall be burnt up. This is what the Lord prophesied. This is what the Lord said was going to happen. And people walk around and they don't even fucking acknowledge that, hey, we're in the times now where these things can happen. Where everybody that holds a weapon that can make this happen is ready to shoot. Tensions are at all-time high, but they think cooler heads will prevail. Fuck that. Cooler heads aren't going to prevail. War is going to increase because it's the will of the Lord. The Lord said what? He controlleth the reins of man and turneth them wheresoever he will. So, right, these leaders that didn't want war, what? Well, look at them now, man. They're prepping for war. Right? They created all these organizations to ensure that nobody's making new missiles. But look, everybody got new missiles. Why? Because the Lord's controlling this. The Lord had a plan for this. It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? And with you knowing this knowledge, with you understanding these things, it should change your etiquette. It should change your demeanor. It should change how you process things, how you move through your life. It should promote a sense of righteousness out of you to do what's accepted before the Lord. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Right? So the Lord has this stuff prepared. The Lord has prepped a destruction, right? And it's being literally kindled right in front of us, man. So many prophets and men have sought to see those things which you see and have not seen them. Well, what? They wanted to see the destruction of the wicked. They wanted to see the Lord prop up his kingdom. They wanted to see the righteous get the reward of the righteous, man. And now we're in a time now to witness these things. And it's beautiful, right? The type of upheaval that's in that world right now, that's just going to increase. Right? Families are going to grow. And for brothers that have done the work of the Lord sincerely, rightly dividing the word of truth, stayed in order as best they could, right? Followed what the Lord said was right and not what these niggas say is right. Because now the so-called black man is Esau, according to Jephthah. Right? Now that's it, right? So niggas are in charge of the world, I guess. When the scriptures tell you Esau will be in charge of the world at the end of days. This is Jeremiah 49. Jeremiah 49:20, it says, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he had taken against Edom, and his purpose that he had proposed, against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw him out, and that's what's happening. What's happening in Israel is drawing Esau out. It's drawing Esau to the battle, to the forefront. Because now what? They're sending all type of military aid, troops, everything over to the land of Israel. Right? Everything over there. Because it's shit with Hamas, and it's cause of what? Them Edomites in the land of Israel, right? Those small hatters in the land of Israel that are bombing the shit out of the Palestinians is causing them to start war. And it's gearing up towards World War III. It's a beautiful time. Because the Lord said what? These things have to come. It says, the heaven and earth shall not pass, nor one jot nor one tittle from the law, till all things be fulfilled. Well, we need this shit to happen for us to get the kingdom of heaven. This is a beautiful time. Right? It says, what he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman, surely the least of the flock shall draw him out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard from the Red Sea. We in those times, bro. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of women in her pains, man. Those Israelis over there, them soldiers saying they're killing all them Palestinians indiscriminately, so emboldened in their rage. Right? Because, hey, let's talk about the violence that's happening over there. They're doing this shit on purpose. Bombing the hell out of them Palestinians, bro. Using illegal munitions, white phosphorus munitions that have been deemed illegal on the international board. They're using it just on broad TV on the Palestinians, but they're telling you that, oh yeah, they attacked us first. They ain't used the munitions on you. That's for damn sure. We got a few niggas at a damn music festival. But for that, you gonna fucking kill the entire nation. They talking about kill everybody. Because a few niggas died at a fucking music festival. That's madness. But the Lord is gonna sit here and wipe you devils off the face of the earth just for that. Especially for what you did to the Israelites, man. This is Isaiah 13, in verse 9. Isaiah 13:9, it says, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. Right? The Lord's not coming with all this tender love and care. Both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the center thereof out of it. For the star of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. And how are they not going to get their light? Because that thermonuclear cloud is going to be here, right? That mushroom cloud. It says, for the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Who's the most haughty, proud people in the world? You Edomites. Doesn't matter if the small hatter, the Edomite in America, right? The Edomite in Australia, the Edomite in Canada. Doesn't matter where you devils are. You are the most haughty motherfuckers, the most proud mofos for no reason. Somehow you go through the entire world killing everybody, but now you're the sound of morality. Now you're who needs to listen. You corrupted every nation by trying to set up coups, and you got the nerve to call everybody else corrupt. Well, you're the fucking author of corruption. It says, no, that's it all I want on that one. This is your Revelation 6. Revelation 6. Verse 12, it says, and I beheld when he opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Right? And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Right? So this is allegorical speech in the scriptures. The scriptures tell you, right, that the Lord spoke by similitudes, right, and parables. So it's your time in these times to have the Spirit give you the utterance of these things, to have the Spirit give you the understanding, and you have to be shapen in righteousness to get them. You have to be chose from the foundation of the world to actually understand the scriptures. It says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. It's going into the missiles hitting them. Earthquakes, it's going to cause tsunamis, right? That type of heat in the air is probably going to end up causing a lot of fucking tornadoes too. That type of heat and the moisture in the air is going to cause all these things, man. And the kings of the earth and the rich men and the great men and the rich men and the captains and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens, in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, talking about Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and from the face of the wrath of the Lamb. It says, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall stand? Read Psalms the 15th chapter. Those are the only ones that are going to stand. All right? But the Lord has a judgment. These missiles that the Lord created through these devils are going to be used. All right? This is Isaiah 34. I'll end it on this one, man. Isaiah 34. And one, I'll start one, I'll read it down. It says, come near, ye nations, and hear. Hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein. The world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. And he hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. It says, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up, and their carcasses in the mountains shall be melted with their blood. It's going into the pure destruction that the Lord is bringing. It says, verse 4, it says, all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. Right? And the heavens shall be rolled together. Right? Talking about the mushroom cloud. And all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth from the vine, and as a fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. It shall come down upon Idumea. Those missiles are going to come down upon the Edomite power structure. And chiefly, it's going to come to America. Right? And upon the people of my curse to judgment, the sword of Yahweh is filled with blood, it is made fat with fatness. And with the blood of lambs and goats, and with the fat of kidneys of rams, for Yahweh had a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, man. So this is the judgment that America's going to get, and it's not without cause. Right? When he saw the thief, he consented with him. He wanted to steal that land from the Palestinians, even though it wasn't theirs in the first place. But he made decrees, laws, right? Backdoor deals, hid councils, all to steal the land, right? When he saw a murder, he consented unto him. Look what he's doing, man. So there's a judgment for those things. And we're coming down to the time where that judgment's coming forth, man. The Lord willing to edify him and say, call halal, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. Right? The Lord's coming, man. Keep the faith. Shalom.